Alright, everybody, now let's talk about the film that made everybody go, that wasn't half bad. So Fast and Furious brings back everybody that we love in the family. We got Vin Diesel coming back, taking over the franchise, Paul Walker, Jordana Brewster, and Michelle Rodriguez comes back for about 5 minutes before she gets killed off. In Fast and Furious, we have Brian O'Connor back working for the FBI after all of his charges were dropped in Too Fast, Too Furious, and now teams up with Dominic Toretto to bring down a heroin importer by infiltrating his operation. When this film first came out back in 2009, and it's crazy to think about that it's about to be 15 years since this film revitalized the Fast and the Furious series, the words prequel and retcon were not in my vocabulary. Did not know what they were, did not know what they meant. And when Han showed up in the beginning of the film, boy was I really surprised. But that isn't the biggest surprise that I had with this film. The biggest surprise that I had with this movie was the fact that this movie was actually pretty enjoyable. Like the tagline says, new model, original parts, and that's exactly what this movie is. The movie starts off with a fantastic little heist where they're trying to get gasoline to sell, and it was just exhilarating. Everything that happens in that opening scene really sets the tone for this movie, and it really does show that this is a completely different movie, even though you do have some of those street racing elements here and there, but this movie really has the best of both worlds. It not only introduced it to fans that really weren't on board with this film from beginning, but it really showed them the potential that this movie had moving forward. Now, originally Vin Diesel wanted this film to be shot back to back with this film and Fast 5, but rightfully so. Universal wanted to make sure that this movie succeeded so they would know that they would be able to do a 5, and this movie absolutely crushed at the box office and now is one of the biggest franchises that we have. And what this movie does great is not just revitalize the franchise, but also gets people that really weren't on board with the previous films, and it gives them something new to be attached. There are some great action sequences, and just seeing everybody come back in this movie, Vin Diesel, Paul Walker, Jordana Brewster, and Michelle Rodriguez, everything about this movie was absolutely a lot of fun. And there are some high stakes here and there. There are some moments where you're actually gripping the edge of your seats, because some of the scenes in here, especially when they're trying out to be part of Braga's cartel, those scenes are absolutely fantastic. And Justin Lin comes back to direct this film, and he does a really good job of giving us some great action sequences, some funny moments sprinkled in here and there, but it also does a very good job of just being able to be something new, but also something that everybody already knows and love. And just the way that everything was set up, you had the right makings in this movie where you have so many different elements happening. You have Brian back with the FBI trying to track down this guy and seeing what he's able to do. He has to work his way into the cartel in order for him to gain their trust and be able to infiltrate them the very best way possible. Plus, you also have that revenge tale with Dominic trying to kill the guy that killed Letty. The dialogue in this movie, as atrocious as it is in some of the Fast and the Furious movies, this was one that was really homing it on its own, and it really does feel like it was trying to stand not only on the things that came before, but it was trying to stand out on its own 2 feet, and I thought it does that very well. Is this a perfect movie? Absolutely not. There are some issues here and there, but they are actually, for what this movie is, they're actually quite far in between. There are some moments here and there that don't work as much as I would like them to, but this movie really had a tough task when it came down to how the fans and people were going to perceive this film. Because if this movie did not work, if we were going to be getting not only just the same results that the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift got at the box office, but also critically, it was not going to be the successful franchise that we know and love right now. Well, that I know and love. But this movie had hit so many beats that it had to hit in order for a lot of people to get back on board with this franchise. And I thought it did very well. It did those jobs very well, and I thought it did it fantastically. Yeah, you still have the same things that we've seen before, but I thought it was just mixed in with so much fun, so much adrenaline, that it really is one of those films that if this did not work, we would not be where we are right now. So overall, I'm going to go ahead and give Fast and Furious an 8 out of 10. This movie was not as bad as a lot of people probably feared when this film first came out, but it was just an entertaining little ride that I really enjoyed and that I still enjoy to this day. But those are my thoughts on Fast and Furious. What are you guys' thoughts on this film and this franchise? Go ahead and drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this video, go ahead and click that like and subscribe button so you don't miss out on more. Click that bell notification so you get notified every single time that a video pops up. And we'll catch you guys on the flip side.